As Agriculture Minister, do you see trade implications out of an outcome that you're warning about? Would there be trade retaliation, for example, if what you're suggesting were to eventuate?
That is certainly a risk, Kieran, and what I've found in the 2 years that I've been the Agriculture Minister is that we had to do a lot of work with our international trading partners to demonstrate to them that Australia was now getting with the program and taking climate change seriously. And what I find when I do travel around the world as the Agriculture Minister is that our international markets are expecting increasing levels of sustainability when it comes to our food production. So if we're going to walk away from those sorts of targets and tell the world we're not interested in climate change anymore, we're going to just sign up with Libya and Yemen and other outlier countries, do we really think that our international trading partners are just going to say that's okay? They expect higher standards when it comes to sustainability. They're making purchasing decisions based on that, and it could cause real damage to Australian cattle farmers, our grain farmers, our sugar farmers, and every other farmer around the country.
You are the Emergency Management Minister as well as Agriculture. That's been the focus for you today with this Disaster Relief National Operations Centre. Can you give our viewers a sense of what this is about? What is this facility going to achieve in terms of our disaster response?
Yeah, well, I've been here in Brisbane today, Kieran, for the official opening of Disaster Relief Australia's National Coordination Centre. Now, Disaster Relief Australia is a veteran-based volunteer organisation that we've been increasingly relying on to do some of the recovery work and clean-up work that traditionally we've relied on the Defence Force to do for us. What we know is that because of climate change, we are going to be seeing increasing number of disasters, and we need to scale up our resourcing at the same time of making sure that we don't distract the Defence Force from their key job, which is keeping Australia safe. So ever since the Albanese government was elected, we've been investing a lot in making sure that we're much better prepared for natural disasters than we were in the past, that we respond a lot more quickly, and working with these sorts of organisations that now have thousands of volunteers, mostly who are veterans, available to go and help communities around Australia is a big step forward for our disaster readiness. I've personally run into people today who I've actually met 3 or 4 times in the field in different disaster zones, from northern New South Wales to far north Queensland. Even today they've got people out in Gippsland helping people with chainsawing trees and cleaning up from those terrible storms we saw there a couple of months ago. So as I say, locating this centre here in Brisbane, the nation's most disaster-prone state, is another big step in our making sure that we are better prepared for future disasters.
And I know you've got to get going quickly on the news poll. 50-50, the numbers have narrowed, and Peter Dutton's narrowed the gap with the Prime Minister on the preferred PM rating. Is that a bit of a worry to you now within a year until the next election?
Not especially, Kieran. I mean, as you've heard every other politician say, we don't sort of pay too much attention to polls. The only one that counts is election day. But I don't think it's surprising that in an environment when people are feeling cost of living pressures that we're seeing polls tighten. But what you can see is that there's only one side of politics who has a clear plan to deal with those cost of living pressures, and that's the Albanese Labor government. We still haven't heard a single plan from Peter Dutton and the opposition about how he's going to take pressure off people's cost of living. And in fact, with their energy policies, what they're talking about is pursuing a much more expensive path in nuclear that won't be ready for 15 years. So I think, over the next couple of months, we'll see those tax cuts come into force on the 1st of July. We'll see people qualify for the energy rebate. We'll see people qualify for a range of other cost of living relief. And really, it's about time that Peter Dutton said what's he going to do about the #1 issue facing Australians right now.
Minister for Agriculture and Emergency Management, Murray Watt, thank you as always. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kieran. Good to be with you.